everyone, this is Brian with NetPicks, author of the NetPicks Metals Trader. Super excited to be launching a brand new product that is going to specifically trade gold and silver, the metals market. Unless you've been hiding under a rock, you pretty much know that the metals have been moving substantially this year. Volatility is up, price action is up. We're getting great movement. And as traders, that's really all we can ask for. So we have a set of new strategies that we're going to be releasing that trade those markets specifically and give you, the trader, an edge in that process. And so what I want to do is give you a little bit of a preview now of what those strategies look like and how they operate. But before I do that, I want to cover a few of the headlines in the market that have really been moving the market around. You might be asking, well, why are the metals moving this year? Why are they so hot and active and everybody's interested in them? So again, let me cover some of these prominent headlines that we see in the news right now that have the markets moving. This one is China to restrict silver exports, and basically they're doing that for their own benefit, right? Silver is a commodity that is used in the industry, right? It's used in making solar panels. It's used in making EVs. It's also used in the circuitry for the big AI push that we see going on right now. So all of that component, has silver in the mix. It's a great conductor. So silver, unlike gold, is different in that it is consumed. So there's demand for that physical. And so that's why we've seen this year silver just exploding multiples of what gold has gone up. Gold has historically been a store of value. Again, one of the components that really have the metals moving at this point. This one is what really caused the sell-off on Friday, supposedly. Yeah, historic sell-off on Friday, and I'll show you what that looks like here in a second on the chart. But the next Fed speaker's going to be coming into the process here, and he is a more hawkish individual. That is good for the dollar, and anything good for the dollar really is not good for the metals because the metals are looked at as a place of safety. So we saw a 31% sell-off on silver on Friday, the biggest sell-off since the 80s when we had the big run up to $50 and then the subsequent 6-week sell-off back down to some pretty low single-digit levels. But so yeah, that's one of the components that have things moving around. And then this headline, I wanted to kind of share with you some of the analysts that were calling for this sell-off that we had on this last Friday are now turning their bias around to more of a long position. That's kind of where I'm at, actually. I think, yeah, we had this sell-off. I'll talk about it on the charts when we get to it. But they have now flipped, and they're leaning more bullish after this much-needed pullback. So I wanted to highlight this paragraph right here. It says, their shift is a testament to how dramatically silver prices are moving. Volatility has skyrocketed, creating opportunities for traders and investors on both sides of the precious metals. So I want to talk more to the trader aspect. How can you trade the metals markets? So I want to dive into that right now, and let's get to the charts. Okay, before we get to the strategy part of my little presentation here, I want to kind of recap where gold has come from this last year, and where it is now. So if we look back here, this is a year worth of daily bars on the chart. If we look back, back here in February of last year, gold was sitting right around $3,000. If we go fast forward here to just this last week, gold was sitting at a high of 56, almost a 2x. If we would have got, 6,000 would be a 2x. So just short of that on gold. The other thing that I want you to notice here is look at the bars on the first half of the year versus the size of the bars on the second half of the year. Much bigger. These are daily bars, remember. And inside of these bigger bars is more opportunity, more volatility, more options for us as traders to take advantage of the movement that we see in each of these daily bars. Let's take a look at silver. Same thing in historic context here. Last year, we were sitting right around $30 at the low here, all the way up to 121. That's a 4x. So you can see here silver has a higher multiple. It's gone up more than gold has over this time period. So silver, super volatile, same exercise. Look at the bars on a daily basis before on the first half of the year versus the second half. There's opportunity inside of these bigger bars. And so I personally started looking to trade the metals markets back here in September. And this is where I really started getting interested because every day was moving more and more. And we just keep escalating up here. And specifically, silver just has lots of great movement. You can see here in this parabolic move, really, to the upside. And this was the big sell-off on Friday. That's that big red bar down. That's the 30% sell-off. And I'll have some more commentary on that here in just a second. So let's just take a look at a few of the strategies. I'm not going to give you all the detail of everything that we're doing. That'll come in the presentation that we're going to be coming out here within the next few weeks. And so this is one of the strategies that we're going to be talking about in the presentation. And just giving you a feel again, if you're not familiar with futures, really nothing different. It's really like a stock. And it has the smallest increment that it can trade is what's called one tick. And depending on the contract that you're trading, that tick is going to have a value, right? In the case of silver futures, this is the micro silver. It is $5 per tick. Okay. And so when we trade that particular futures contract, we can trade different size trade setups based on the bar that we're trying to trade. In this case, we're trading a very specialized bar here. This is called a Renko Heikinashi bar. That I've traded this type of bar for about 10 years, very successfully. And actually, the system that is the foundation of this has been traded for 10 years. And it's been customized for the current situation we find ourselves in the metals market. So this trade right here, sequence, is one of the trade plans that we're going to be talking about in detail. This shows you a couple of trades from a recent session that were very, very good. And yeah, we trade a two-position approach. Just to give you a little feel there, we like to get a fixed target in a lot of cases, and then we have a trailer. Now, in this first example, the trailer didn't get us very much. It got us about $30. Not a lot, but we want to put ourselves in that position to capture a move when it happens. So trade number two, that's exactly what's going to happen. And if I move this out of the way, you can see our trade assist actually plots it on the line. It's that small dashed line there. And so you can see our setup plotted with our target on the fixed. So that's reached. And again, that gets us on trade number two, another $960. I think that's supposed to be if I get the icon on the right thing there. And then on the trailing position, you can see this yellow dotted line is our trailer on that one. That's worth $4,000, $4,200. So I always tell our traders, this is what you want to do each and every time. You want to put yourself in that position to capture a move. We never know when it's going to come. In this case, it came on the second trade. So this trade plan is really, really solid. The last 30 days of performance on this particular trade plan is about $14,000 and about a 1.83 profit factor. So really, really good. And drawdown's about $4,300, so that's important too. But really, really solid performance. And this has a specific start time and everything that we'll cover in more detail when we get to the presentation. The next trade plan that I want to cover is this one. It starts futures trade 23 hours a day, and this starts right at the PM session of the futures start time. And this one's pretty simple too, in that it's a one and done trade. You're going to either win or you're going to lose. And this is trading the micro gold futures. Micro gold is $1 per tick. Again, it gives us a lot of flexibility to trade larger bar size, bigger move, so to speak. And it makes it pretty easy, right? Because these are smaller risks. If you want to say it that way, smaller risk on the loss side, and we're going for, well, in this case, I'm sorry, we're going from 1-to-1 here. We're going for 750, and we're risking 750. So it is exactly 1-to-1 in this particular situation. But starts at 6, and let's just take a peek here at the results over the last 90 days. So about $11,300 over the last 90 days. Profit factor is really solid at 2.52, and your worst drawdown is 2250. So I want to talk a little bit here about prop firms. And if you're not familiar with prop firms, the advent of prop firms has been hugely beneficial for traders. For a very small amount of money, it's roughly about 150 bucks. You can qualify and get a PA, what's called a PA or a funded account, for that 150, and that gives you the chance to get paid, right, as a trader. So, and once you have that funded account, every about $4,000 that you make, $3,000 to $4,000, you can get paid $2,000, and you can do that with on a consistent basis. I'm going to quote the prop firm that we recommend as the number one, but other prop firms are slightly different in this process. So don't quote me if it's not the prop firm you're using, but the one that we recommend. Every 8 days, you can get paid as long as you keep incrementing and make a profit in those 8 days. And you typically need to make about $2,000 every 8 days, is what I'm going to say. So let's just walk down through the stats here really quickly on the screen with this trade plan, which again is going for a single trade. You can see in this column over here, single trades all the way down, and win or lose, right? We're either going to hit that target or we're not. There is some money management, so you're going to see some days where we get a smaller amount, positive 125. That's because it got close to the target and then pulled back. So if we started this back on 11.3, you can see as we go down here, we would have reached a payout status roughly right here at this 3,875. We need 8 days, by the way. And then we could have requested a $2,000 payout at that point in time. So there's payout number one. Now from this point, we've taken our 2,000. We've got about 1,800 in the account. Let's scroll forward. We now need to get to the next 2,000 to get paid out. So it's going to be roughly $6,000. Let's just round it up there to this one right here. We do go through a little bit of drawdown right here, but that's normal, right? So here would be payout number two for you. Again, second payout, $2,000. We've now taken out $4,000. Our balance would be $24.95. Now we need to get to another $2,000 point and 8 days. So we'll need to get to about 884, roughly, because we've got some extra in the bank there. So we get to this point right here. That's payout number three in this 90-day window. And then ultimately from here, we need 8 more days and $2,000. We're going to get the $2,000, but we don't have the 8 days. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Trading on Monday, win or lose, you're going to get another $2,000 payout in this sequence and this trade plan. So that's how it works. And that's the importance of having a strategy and an approach that you can trade consistently. I don't care if it's my strategy or somebody else's, but that is the benefit of trading with a prop firm right there. That's the sequence that you can go through if you have a trade plan that is consistent. And so the other thing that I'll throw out to you, that's simply one account. With many prop firms, you can trade up to 20 accounts. So you can multiply that effort very, very easily. Okay. So anyways, that's enough on that. And then the final thing that I wanted to share with you is a little bit of a story. This was my trading from Friday. For whatever reason, I had a hard time sleeping on Friday night. And I literally got up in the middle of the night and started trading a gold and silver. It was a historic, what turned out to, we know now, was a historic move down. And it had that feel to it. And I was just tossing and turning. And I was watching on my phone a little bit, the market going down. And I was like, I just couldn't sleep. So I got up and I traded. And pretty much was done by the time we got to our live session that we do each and every day. I didn't have any more accounts to trade. And so I'm getting to a point here. The point is we did our normal morning session and traded a few qualification accounts. And then I came back in the afternoon after working out at about 2 o'clock. This is 2 o'clock in the afternoon after the big sell-off. So context here, this is the big sell-off on gold. The point that I want to make is Would you think there's any opportunity to take longs in that big daily bar down? It's kind of scary, right? But these are the trades that I took on Friday afternoon after coming back from my workout that I saw based on the system that, again, we're going to share more detail about coming up here. But anyways, this move up, and these are just singles, right? And what I was doing here was taking uh, four micros to the fixed target only. I wasn't trailing in this situation, and six in a row. You can just see, and if I pull this away again, you'll see that our trade assist marked those up nicely for me. So just trade after trade, and these weren't taken very long at all. Literally 2 to 3 to 4 minutes, and six in a row. And I added two accounts that were already very profitable. Probably not the thing to do, I'll be honest. One of the things we do teach is when you get, especially if you're newer, when you get that profit, you want to book it. But I saw the opportunity, I took advantage of it with this very specific approach. These trade setups looked A plus to me, and so yeah, that's the benefit of having a system and an approach that you can engage. And that's the other thing that I'll say about the metal markets right now. I've literally traded just about all 23 hours, not all at once, but at any point in time, you can come in and you can look at the market and it's typically moving. You can't say that about some of the other indexes. So that's what I think makes the metals market very unique at this point in time. So that's pretty much what I have at this point. I wanted to give you a little bit of a teaser for our upcoming presentation. So please sign up below and we'll get you more information as to when that presentation is going to be and the time. And would love to have you come attend, ask questions, and thank you for your time. Thank you and good trading to you.
Everything discussed here is our opinion, and it is not to be taken as investment advice because we are not your financial advisor, nor have we considered your personal situation as your fiduciary. This presentation is for your education and entertainment only. Please review NetPicks' full risk disclaimer and privacy policy.